Yes, now, and welcome back to episode 91 of the Top Load podcast. And this is the London Car Show review. And obviously, as ever, this episode is powered by Third Down Displays, your number one spot for card supplies, custom cars fans, and great preparation kits. And it's been a long weekend. There's been a lot of money spent, and everyone's feeling the effects of it, whether it's in the bank account or just being absolutely knackered. But first of all, H, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, very well. Yeah, very well. Recovering obviously from not so much of a long weekend for me at the show, but a long weekend in general, but a very good show nonetheless. So yeah, trying to catch up on me hours sleep at this point. But otherwise, yes, I'm very well. Thank you, Ron, mate. Very well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I only went the Saturday morning of the show. You only done the Saturday night and Sunday, so we had to get an actual proper card enthusiast on. It actually went the whole weekend and training night. It's the one and only Mr. Jules Lavender, obviously well known as LavBreaks. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously tired and recovering, and I'm so tired. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you can hear me then.
Sadly, we can hear you. What?
Oh, thank you. yeah, yeah, very tired and just recovering. But yeah, it was a good show.
We're going
Finally
to be
broke
a
even
barrel
that
of
show.
laughs today, aren't we?
Yeah, I was going to say it's that Monday after any card show, especially the London card show. You just feel knackered. You might have even only been there for 5 or 6 hours. You're just absolutely knackered from trying to walk around, and the amount of probably germs and everything that is in that one building at the time. No doubt you're going to come down with something. But obviously, let's talk about the actual show itself. And starting with you, H, obviously, this was the first one where we've extended the full building and we had the whole thing. And it felt very spacious once you got to that third and final third. But in general, before we talk about the actual setup and everything like that, another huge success.
Oh, 100%. You know, I did put a story out yesterday, and obviously I'll reiterate it again now. Yeah, a massive, massive hats off to Harry and everyone that obviously partake in the London Card Show team that obviously helped put on an incredible weekend yet again. You know, I said it in my Instagram story that, you know, they're stepping the game up a notch every single time. It's just getting bigger, the event becoming broader. They're incorporating so many more different aspects of a card show. And it's really yeah taken the whole sort of the whole game by storm. And as I said, they've taken it up another notch this weekend. So yeah, a massive thank you, a massive sort of, you know, well done to everyone from the London Card Show team. Harry, it's yeah, an incredible weekend, and he said kudos to everybody that's part of it, because it was an incredible weekend. A lot of fun, and a lot of stuff to get around, to look at, to get involved in, and yeah, it was just incredible.
Yeah, we got in there early on the Saturday. I was helping set up, and that's when you truly realised that it was the whole thing. Before, lucky enough, I'd seen behind the curtain, so to speak, of what was that last bit. But it opens the door to so many possibilities that you had the additional space for bigger areas. You had Whatnot move into like the Champagne Lounge, which worked really well, having it completely separate. And then you also had like Tops. They had a bit more of a space in front of them where it could have been a lot of things there. And then just by it, you had the Creator Studio, you had the VR as well, which I know you boys, when we talk about the Sunday, we'll get onto that. But obviously having that additional space, and it was a very busy day in terms of, it seemed like, especially between the 10 and 1 mark, it was really hectic and busy. But it was well worth opening it up. And I think that was just shows you how big it is now, that you didn't even feel like it was empty. It was always felt busy and very bustling as well.
Yeah, it was a lot better having more space. I don't know if there's many more vendors or if it was quite a similar number, but it just yeah, it had like breathing room for once at a show. A lot of these shows you like sort of squeeze in between backpacks and stuff, and it's just a bit hectic. But no, I think this is much better and like much more well thought out. Especially the layout of the Pokemon and the sports cards separate. I like that as well. So that was quite good. You knew where you wanted to go, so you didn't. Well, yeah, if you're a Pokemon fan, you don't want to be looking at the sports cards. You can go do what you want, and vice versa. So yeah, I think it's really good.
Yeah, I feel like you say, just touching on that, the dedicated areas worked really well because you knew that, all right, there's a few Pokemon ones here, so I don't actually have to look at that. Oh, wait, then it's back to sports. And then you could kind of walk around it. It worked very well how it was planned out. And I know when we were speaking to Harry last week on the episode, he did say there was something there was some feedback. They've been listening to feedback. And obviously, it's the first time done it, so there's always going to be little changes. But hey, it really worked well having areas, because you worked out that, oh wait, I can have a look at this like island, or I can look at these 4, 5, 6 tables and I know what's going to be on it. It worked very well in comparison to when I'd say we throw it back to a couple of shows ago, even last show, that it was like sports Pokemon, and then it was kind of all a bit everywhere, and it was quite hard. You'd easily miss a table.
Yeah, I think it gave it a lot more structure in order to sort of group together the certain aspects in terms of TCG sports, and it just gave it a bit more of a direction. You knew, if you saw a TCG table, the likelihood of that whole island being TCG, sort of then it's like, okay, cool, like I can skip on to the next island, or I can have a look around here and see what's around here. So you had more of an idea as to what you were walking into, or where certain tables were going to be, or what you can expect from an island just by looking at a table, rather than, I guess, you walking around doing figure eights, everywhere you go, trying to figure out where some of the sports tables are, who's where. So I think, yeah, in terms of the direction and the structure of it, it worked really well. And I can't see sort of, Harry going back on that now and sort of reverting back to the way it was, because I think, I'd be very surprised if there was, a lot of negative feedback regarding the sort of the grouping of it. I think it worked really well, and people that were there for TCG knew where TCG were, and people that were there for sports knew where sports were. So I think it worked really well, and it's something that I think, would be wise to keep going forward into future shows, just because I said it gives it a lot more structure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think talking about another one of the big changes, which was the addition of the kids zone, which worked very well. I didn't really know what to expect from it. Where we was based most of the day at GVW's table, it was actually opposite Topped, which was next to the kids zone. It was quite a clever idea. I didn't know how they was going to do it, but there was quite a lot of activities going on there. There was always spaces for kids to go and sit and do activities, which was a fantastic idea, because I always find with kids they can easily get distracted or lost, or sometimes they come with the parents who are into the cards and they're just standing around really not doing much. I think that was a brilliant addition. And obviously, Lav, you spent quite a bit of time nearer the zone, and it was always busy. It seemed, it never seemed quiet, and always had having 2 or 3 members of the London Card Show team there. But what a brilliant idea to have and be able to welcome in like the younger collectors that no doubt will be the future going forward.
Yeah, it's good to see accommodating for everyone nowadays, and it's sort of introducing them to the sort of whole thing of it. It's good that they're being in place, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I always find it's always tricky to do. You see it a lot with football stadiums, obviously having their family sections and like that, but have an area that they can go and sit down, have activities to do. They could get their own custom like little ID card from the London Card Show. And moving on to that, and I've got to come over to you, H. Everyone's big new purple friend. Obviously, I'm not talking about Barney the dinosaur. Obviously, talking about Hector the collector. Was it just me, or when I see him in person, he was a lot bigger than what I was actually expecting him to be?
Oh, 100%. Oh, past me a couple of times, I was like, I did not expect this geezer to be this big. But it was just another sort of brilliant additional sort of feature to the show. Where you've got so many families that are coming down now and making sort of, a day of it, and family 3, 4, 5, however many it was that were coming down for the day, for the weekend, having that additional, mascot there that the kids can run up, have pictures with, play around with. And I think it's just so, as Lav said, accommodating in terms of who's going to be there, the target market, making something there for everyone. I think, yeah, it was just a brilliant addition that Harry and the team put into it. And I mean, you couldn't have put it any better. Like, it was down to a T. The t-shirt, the hat, it was the actual mascot itself was designed brilliantly. So yeah, it was just cool seeing a massive purple figure walking around all day. It was quite funny.
Yeah, probably the warmest place actually in
Oh
San
god, yeah.
because it was a chilly one, but we won't talk about the weather too much. But I'm going to talk about the actual cards and everything on offer. Coming over to you, Lav, it was a very different show, and I think it shows the evolution within the UK hobby of it's not where a lot of times it was quantity and it was quite a lot of cheaper items, your £1 to £2, which is still fantastic to look through. But there was a lot of quality available at this show and some really big cards. And when I mean some really big cards, there were some cards that God knows how many times I would have to be working to even afford one of them, because there's one store I think had about 7 1-of-1s on it, which probably were all 5 to 10, if not more.
Yeah, there were some mental cards on that table. There's two and Kunku 1-of-1s, Ronaldo, Messi out of 5s. It baffled me. Like, makes me feel like my collection's worthless looking at tables like that. especially with all the Havertz cards I've got. But yeah, it was just the quality of cards on the show there this weekend was incredible. You still have the like £1, £2 ones, but they really stand out, like those big ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, coming as you, H, obviously you weren't there Saturday, but sounding by a lot of people I spoke to, it's quite similar over the 2 days. It's a very nice to see how it's actually evolved since them first shows in the lower room, obviously all the way back to before it even predates Isha as well. But there was such a wide range that if people wanted high end, there was high end tables. If people wanted just low end, there was low end tables. Or then people had also a good mixture of modern to vintage. There was a bit for everyone. It seemed at the show. All right, I think maybe the one criticism, maybe sports wise, it was very, very heavily football, obviously, or as known soccer. There weren't as much F1 or UFC, or there was a few tables with American sports. But for the soccer collector, football collector, was a very good mix of all different types of price ranges and ages as well.
I think, yeah, this is probably one of the, I was gonna say one of the sort of the biggest or the sort of the best show for football. I think there was a lot of football there. And I think I was saying to Jason and Lewis that it's probably one of the first shows where I've seen the fewest amount of F1, which I was quite surprised at. I know obviously the season's just finished, whether that's had an impact on it or not, or sort of where that's sitting in the market at the moment. But for me, I think I saw the least amount of F1 yesterday on the Sunday than I probably had done at any previous show. I think there was one, maybe two F1 tables that I'd seen. But otherwise, yeah, for any football collector, I mean, you're in dreamland. There was literally something there for everyone, whether that be from, $2, £3, £4, £5 cards all the way up to, 10, 15 grand. And I think I was surprised at how much Arsenal as well. I know Dan's cards and Martin, obviously card sales more or less had two showcases full of Arsenal, which obviously for me and you, Ron, obviously is dreamland. So it's pretty
very dangerous.
Yeah, both. But I think for me, it's probably one of the best shows Arsenal wise that I've seen in terms of what was available. But yeah, there literally was something there for everyone. Anything you could think of, it was at that show over the weekend. There was a lot there and a good selection as well. You said a lot of modern, a lot of vintage, a lot of slabs, a lot of raw. So yeah, you couldn't have asked for much more really. It was all round a very promising show.
Yeah, and I can now kick up my feet and relax as we talk about the rest of the London card show, because I did venture to a certain football stadium that I'm not going to talk too much about because it's not the best one. But yeah, again, it was a lovely football game. But starting with you, Lav, how was trade night? Was it busy? Because I've seen progression since I was going, obviously missed this one. But how was it? Was it busy again like usual? Was there a lot of stuff going down?
Well, to be honest, I'm not someone who goes to trade night quite often. It was the second one I've been to since quite an early show. But yeah, it was really busy and I wasn't expecting so many people to be there. But there's like quality cards and show. The people who sort of like walking around were sitting down and showing their stuff. You saw new stuff you hadn't seen the day. And there's some big trades going on from what I saw anyway. Yeah, there's some monster cards.
Yeah, obviously, it wasn't at the last trade night, but he was at this one, he was at the one before it. So did you see a massive progression as well of the UK hobby really getting behind trade nights? Because it was like when we had Harry on originally, when he was saying he was going to do the first trade night, there was a lot of grey areas. Should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? How's it going to be received? But it seems to be just naturally now it's just growing and growing and growing, and it's turning into its own event, which Harry did say last week.
Oh, trade night was mustard. I loved it. It's probably one of my most successful trade nights I've had. And I say trade night softly because I bought it wasn't trade, but yeah, I think you look back to the first ever trade night that happened, obviously in the previous hall, and to where it is now. I think that trade night has evolved so quickly, so effectively, that it was absolutely ridiculously busy on Saturday night, and it's one of those things where the more it happens, the more you evolve it, the more people talk about it, the more that people are positive about it, the more people are like, cool, we need to go to this trade night. And like you said, there was literally stuff there for everyone. It's one of them things where you can take a step back from having to vend or walk around all the time, and people can just sit down, lay out their cards, open up their showcases, and just show what they've got to offer. Because if you're not vending at the show, but you brought your case along, let's say, you've got so much stuff in there that someone you're walking behind may really want, but they've got no idea because you're not vending. And it gives that element of everyone's got an opportunity there to lay their cards out, trade, buy, sell, whatever. It incorporates that different aspect to it. But it was so busy, and I think, you know, you look at the evolution of the trade night since the first ever one, and it's come on leaps and bounds. And yeah, it was in my opinion, it was a wicked trade night, and I said, really, for me, really successful. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on trade night.
And like I say, I can kick up my feet and relax again because I'll let you take it away. You're talking about Sunday because I was at another football match. So I'll let you take over, H. I'll just sit here and do nothing. This is going to be great fun.
Yeah, I think, you know, also, yeah, Lav, myself, Jason, card sales, clinical cards, obviously Jack, GBW, and that. I think also we all took to the pub after trade night. So I think we were it was an early start for us then on Sunday morning, for more than one reasons. But yeah, I think we got to the show about 8:30, I think, didn't we, Lav? Obviously then, yeah, started setting up obviously both tables, obviously Lav with GBW, obviously me with Jason and Lewis. But yeah, it was a good show. I think, you know, you could sense it starting to get busier. There's massive queues outside before sort of VIP were entered, and then obviously general admittance as well afterwards. But yeah, it was really, really good, really positive shows. I don't know how the table layout was in comparison to the Saturday, whether they sort of moved a few tables around or not. I was on there on the Saturday, so I obviously don't know. But yeah, it was a really, really positive show, really good show. A lot of stuff on display, like I already said, you know, in terms of the Arsenal and the variety of cards that were on display was really, really good. Obviously, VR, I know I mentioned to Harry about, obviously on the preview of the London Card Show, was just as good as I thought it would be. I think between the 5 of us that were on there, I think I did get the quickest lap, which is why I'm talking about it. But that was really good. Again, another great sort of, you know, addition to the card show, and having that there free of charge, free to use, and, you know, it's a, you know, VR simulator. So, you know, what more could you want? But yeah, it was a really, really good show, really busy. I think, you know, typically as a normal Sunday, it died down sort of towards, you know, the sort of 3:30 area. Coles, obviously, but it was, yeah, a really, really good show. Busy, a lot of stuff. Anything you could think of was there. Some big trades, you know. I think obviously in terms of sort of being at the table with Jason and Lewis, you know, it was quite a successful day in terms of sort of selling. And yeah, I think I've covered most points, but it was a really positive day. You know, I know we sort of say it, but to have everyone there from the hobby, all for the same reason, for the love of cards, and yeah, it was really, really good, really positive, good vibes. And yeah, a very successful day and night in my opinion. I don't know whether Lav, you feel the same way or not. So you know, we were there the whole weekend, but yeah, really, really positive.
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the weekend, I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to just go to see everyone and enjoy myself. And then I sold some cards on the Sunday, and that's it. The floodgates opened, and I started buying boxes and bought a card. But yeah, in the end, I think across both days, it was a really good show. There was so much variety. I think it's massively not better, improved than from the last show. But yeah, I just can't wait for the next one again now.
I was going to say, I'm not even going to say when. I've got to say the dates. It's the 10th and 11th of Feb, and we know that's going to come around really quick, especially with how quick the month of December normally goes anyway. And then, to be fair, January is normally quite a long month because you're normally looking at the bank balance from about the 5th of January, wondering where it's all gone already. But like we say, it's been a massive improvement. The growth what we've seen through all the London card shows has been astronomical. And obviously, like I say, Harry said there's some massive plans for 2024, which we can't wait to hear. So I know I've closing ones actually talking about the show itself. Is like, would we see anything we'd like to see improved, anything to be added? It's always a tricky one because it's very hard. Most of the times, the little adjustments like the cloakroom, which was a very good idea, you wouldn't naturally think off the top of your head. Obviously, the combining of sports and Pokemon in different locations worked very well. Having some separated, like Creators Studio, Tops having their own like main area bit, also Whatnot worked very well. So, H, is there anything that obviously you'd like to see change, maybe an idea added, or anything that you work very well that you'd like to see expanded upon?
I think there's one thing that sort of pinged into mind straight away that I don't think really is in Harry's control. But I think to have that VR simulator, but like, you know, possibly 4 instead of 2, and have it so they're all linked up in like race, as opposed to sort of the fastest lap. It's completely out of Harry's control, but I just thought that was quite a cool idea. but yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones where, like, nothing necessarily springs to mind, and then Harry will come up with 3-4 new additions to the show, and you think, yeah, that makes sense. Or yeah, that's a really good idea. So no doubt Harry will knock it out the park again in February with some more additions and some new additions to the show. But there's nothing really that like springs to the top of my head where I'm like, yeah, that would be really good to see that, or that'd be really good to have that in there, or if this was there, that would have made it even better. But I don't think there was anything there that I'd have thought, yeah, that we could have done with that as additional extra, or it would have been good if that was there. So, and I think everything that Harry added this time round, I said the cloakroom, the VR, all of that sort of stuff was exactly what needed to be there. So yeah, I mean, I personally, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would have added or changed or differed to make it any more improved as such.
No, like I say, I agree. I think it was a very well put together show yet again. I know we always sound a bit like a broken record, as you say it, but we generally think that it's been a very good evolution in the show. Like we say, we always want to see it expand and grow as the hobby grows. Like, no doubt, it was a sold out Saturday. There was people who there might have been another few hundred people, if not more, who wanted to attend. And it's getting to a point where that room is probably near enough at the capacity it can be. So obviously, they know that the team of obviously don't help as well when it is winter months, and whereas at least in the summer you probably have a few hundred people sitting outside at any one time having a drink, having some food, or just chilling outside. Obviously when it's a bit colder you're going outside for a hot chocolate or a tea or a coffee and you're coming straight back in. But like I say, it was another very, very successful show. And Lav, any closing thoughts you would have on the show, and like how much it's been improving / what you're looking forward to potentially in the calendar month for 2024?
Yeah, I know they said about on-site grading, I think, which would be a very cool idea. I remember they did a card con with MGC, so it'd be cool to see something like that at the next shows. And I think they should open the bar. I think that'd be a cracking idea for the coming shows. But
cracking idea or dangerous?
Yeah,
on trade night that'd be fantastic. But I'm really looking forward to the next show. I think London Card Show is the top show in Europe, let alone the UK. Yeah, I just always look forward when it comes around. I was talking myself out of not going this time, and I still ended up there. So,
yeah. And you're only supposed to go for the Saturday. We persuaded to say Saturday night and Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm not going. I'll come on the Saturday. I'll come on the Sunday as well. I'll go on then.
Yeah, you ended up putting the most hours in out of any of us. So yeah, congratulations on that one. But obviously, now we're going to talk about like what we picked up or traded / sold. And there's only one place to start, and the people have been waiting all this time to know. We see it.
I know what it's going to be about. I know what it's going to be.
On Third Down displays the story of a little prediction on how many slab mags H was going to buy. But before we confirm the number, Lav, can you please confirm that you've actually been corrupted by HA Cards UK and you have now converted to the life of the slab mag? Oh, yep. We've lost another soldier.
Oh,
yeah.
I have this one. There's also another one sitting up there, but I had that before. But they just look fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, that's a magged card and it still looks brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Willie Lav.
I love it. I'm addicted now.
A lot of people don't know that they actually, like Third Down displays, if you go on their website, they do sell the mag inserts, which I was skeptical about. And then I see them at the show in person on Saturday. Fantastic addition, as H is now currently going through his display. I'm going to pick out one any minute now to say, there you go. Look, watch this. Look, here we go. Look, everyone's going to do it apart from me. I'm letting the squad down, so I'm going to have to talk to the lovely guys over at Third Down displays and arrange one. But H, can we please confirm the final tally of slab mag purchased? Two. Very respectable.
2. Yeah, I purchased 2 in the end. So I had this one obviously the whole way. I was definitely going to buy that. Obviously, like Lav has with the mag insert, obviously for the dual auto that I've been chasing for some time now. Red on red, obviously, it looks absolutely unbelievable. I've not actually seen the mag insert. I've never had like a mag insert in the slab mag, but this will not be the last one I'll buy. That's for sure, because they are so clean.
I don't think anyone's going to be holding the press with you saying you're going to buy some more.
No, I know, but look how nice that looks, though. That looks unreal.
Can you also confirm, are you the UK rep for slab match? Because if you're not, I would actually...
I need to be. I need to be.
Hey, this man.
You might as well put in your bio the Slav Mag enthusiast. Like, it's going to happen.
Mr. Slab Mags.
Yeah. So, like we say, especially with the discount on it, fantastic purchases. Probably will have to pick up some more for myself. But if we talk about the actual thing everyone was going there for, and no, it wasn't for the beer in the pub, before anyone says, it was the cards itself. And there were quite a few pickups. And we're going to actually start with one what was a pre-existing deal. But funny enough, I got it today of recording, which was the Monday. And it was a very good buyer, even though it took him quite a while to send it over. It was this lovely Aaron Ramsdale. Obviously, was actually my co-host's lovely card, and it's just travelled over the podcast airwaves. But thank you for that one, H. That was a lovely deal. A brilliant way to start a Monday morning after the card show is actually getting more cards.
What more could you want?
Exactly. We was talking all the way through the show, and I was like, and then you was like, "Oh yeah, forgot about that," and I was like, "Oh yeah, forgot about that deal." We arranged it about a month and a half ago, so finally got that one over the line. So come over to you, H. Which pickup you want to talk about first? Because I know there's some big and beautiful pickups you've acquired.
Yeah, obviously, Slab Mag was the first pickup from the show. Obviously, the red Slab Mag, but I actually picked up this Jorginho, which is from Showtime. Obviously, it's the purple parallel to 25. Obviously, Auto 10, SGC 9. Picked up from Pompey Sports Cards, Pompey's other stuff, I think it's called, on Instagram. Yeah, recognise me from the podcast, and he's been listening to about 6 months now. So gave me a fairly good deal on that. So I said shout out to him. So yeah, that was my first pickup at trade night. Was Jorginho, top Showtime, Auto 25, SGC 9, Auto 10. So yeah, shout out to Pompey. Really happy with that pickup, and that was the first one of it went downhill after that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll talk about. I'm going to briefly just say I did actually open a hobby blaster of Don Russ. Obviously, people are no surprise to me that I've opened a women's box of cards in the pub before the show. It wasn't the best box, but I was very happy. There was a bit of an Arsenal and England theme to it. So even though one card is not here, it makes sense later on, so I traded it away. I did end up walking away with an Elatoon rookie, which was a silver variation. Jordan Nobb's silver autograph, obviously Arsenal legend, which I was very happy about. And then the main person that I've been chasing in the set, a nice Katie McCabe to 299. And I've got to say, now I've seen it a lot more in person. The Don Russ women's set is absolutely fantastic. So if there's any women's collectors out there, even men's collectors who just want to get some, I would definitely recommend picking up some of the Don Russ, especially that you can get the hobby blasters for even as low as 60 quid, and then the normal blasters is 30. But I know, Lav, you had a lovely grading return from SGC, and that was with Aaron, obviously, at the grading club, which actually some players actually still play for Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's very hard to actually get that at the moment in the hobby for you.
I mean, one of them hasn't played since I can't remember, but he's injured, so he hasn't played in ages. But we've had a nice 5-card sub come back. Got a 9.5 on the ends out of 25, which is from Deco, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And the rest all 10, which is a first. So we had a couple Galazzos.
That's outrageous, by the way. 4 out of 5 gem rate.
You got to take care of your cards. But the Galazzo out of 75 and the orange lava, both 10 for the Enzo for the rainbow, which we'll come back to in a bit. The Fafana, which obviously the player who's injured at the moment, to 10 on 10 as well. And then finally the Mason Burstow Tops Now, which I Tops Now is my favourite.
Yeah.
To 99, also 10.
Absolutely.
More those stuff as well.
Whenever anyone has any cards back from grading, I always feel bad for my card collection because it's still sitting here not graded. So I do apologise to any cards that are listening to this, but you will be getting graded in 2024. I will move on to a deal that I made before the show even opened, funny enough. Obviously helping Mr. GBW set up, so I ended up picking up a nice little bundle from him. So I ended up picking up at Marta Trajon gold auto to 50, which I couldn't really pass up for on the price. Another player that I'm going to start PCing a bit more is Wendy Renard, orange sapphire rookie to 25. Then, no surprise to anyone, Estina Blackstenius, Net Marvels to 299. And then we've got 2 England pickups for the PC of Kira Walsh to 299. Chloe Kelly to 299. Surprising, GW did give up one of his part of his cards. And then I did trade one of my United States women's players in my box for a Frida Leonardson Mornham to 49. So some more women's pickups from me, which is no surprise at all. But H, talking about my last one was an orange card. I think there's an absolute beauty of an orange card coming up that you did pick up because it's made me jealous, even though I've just got to say it does fit a certain colour slab mag, which we might be seeing.
Yeah. So I picked up one Jorginho auto. Pompey's Other Stuff was the Instagram handle. I just looked it up. Pompey's Other Stuff was that Jorginho. And then me and Lav decided it was time to open some fan set boxes. So I bought 2 Arsenal, Lav bought 2 Chelsea. And I was actually lucky enough to hit a Jorginho auto again. And obviously I said before that also I'm going for the full auto set from the Arsenal fan set. So I've got a Jacob Kiwior on the way. And obviously I managed to pull the don't do it, Ron. Pulled the Jorginho obviously out of the boxes. So I was very happy with that. I mean, got obviously some nice parallels from the got like a part of a Jesus rainbow already, and then I see a Saka. So yeah, that was good. Very happy with that 2 boxes and got an auto. But yeah, so the orange in question that Ron is referring to, obviously I've now got the YB in hand as well. I know we've spoken about on the podcast before. That is now in hand here. It's in a slab mag already, as you can see. I had an orange one already here, so I've replaced the card out. I didn't buy it, just replaced it out. But it is a Ben White orange prism numbered to 15. It is 4 of 15, so obviously it is his jersey number.
eBay 101.
eBay 1 of 1. You can see the alarm bells ringing now. But yeah, very, very, very happy. I know I've started to pick up as much Ben White as I can recently. When I saw that with Kaboom Cards, I bought that one from. So shout out to Kaboom. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I don't know, I've got an orange slab mag already. It's Ben White. I didn't actually realize it was jersey number until I got back to the hotel and Jason said, "Oh, what number is it out of?" And I was like, "Oh, 4 of 15." And I was like, "Wait, 4's his jersey number." So that makes it obviously even sweeter. So shout out to Kaboom Cards for that one. And then the same deal. I know this is going to make Ron obviously very, very jealous. I did pick up a Gabrielle gold prism auto to 10, PSA 9 auto 10, which I was very happy with. So yeah, got that and the Ben White both from Kaboom Cards. So shout out to them. Thank you for the deal, mate. And said it was a very successful trade night. So both of those were at trade night with the Jorginho, and then also the fan set boxes we ripped during the day on Sunday. And then to throw in a little last one at the end, that come in the post today from Mike Marnold Cards, a nice little Thierry Henry from his Monaco days back in 97, 98. So yeah, that was me. My weekend.
Actually having some pickups as well is always nice. And I know you alluded to a little rainbow earlier for the Galazzo Enzo Fernandez lab. And was there any additions this weekend to it?
Even to the orange theme as well. So the outer 25 Galazzo there. So that's another one ticked off the list. It is 17 of 25. So unfortunately not shirt number, but we still take that. I've got a really good deal on that. I told him I was doing the rainbow from Soccer Cards United.
I was going to say the Galazzo, one of the most underrated inserts in cards, in my personal opinion.
What have you got left to get, love?
I got the base. Funny enough. I was looking the other day, I was like, I don't have a base. The out of 50, and then the out of 10, out of 5. The 1 of 1, I think it's going to have to be from 5 upwards because the 1 of 1 auto sold for like over $2.5 grand, I think the other day, and I don't have the facilities for that, unfortunately. But yeah, we've got quite the collection here. All going to be sent off to grading now.
Oh,
nice.
The auto as well. But yeah, the out 25 was the pickup from the weekend from Soccer Cards United. Gave me a very good deal on that.
Yeah, like I say, and then I've got a few more pickups. I've got 2 deals left. This one was a 3-piece, which was Dan's cards. Starting off with a flashback Wojciech Szczesny Prism Auto, which you don't really see much anymore of the 1920 Prism Autos, followed up by a Bakary Sanya National Treasure from Chronicles, which I've been after, and then the main one of this deal, which I was very happy to pick up, which is number to 99, Freddie Lumber Prism, which is just a Club Legends autograph, number to 99, massive pickup from me. Been wanting to get one of these autos. And last but not least, and I've got to say a massive shout out to with Dan for doing the deal. Obviously, people know that I've been picking up some Stina Black Stenius cards recently. My big one from this weekend was the Sapphire to 15, obviously the purple auto. For people who don't know, the base rainbow which I've got is gold, red, orange, and then they just decided to leave off purple. So I had to pick up the purple, which was the autograph. So it was a very, very successful weekend for pickups, which is always lovely. And like we say, rather than quantity, it was definitely quality, which we always like to see. So H, just a round up roughly now the London Card Show pickups. How much did you enjoy obviously the Saturday night and then also the Sunday?
Yeah, massively. I think, it's probably one of, as you just said, in terms of sort of quality over quantity, probably one of my best shows in terms of sort of the quality of cards that I picked up. I mean, for me, then pickups are unbeatable in terms of sort of some of my previous shows. I managed to sell a fair amount as well, to be fair, on the Sunday. Managed to get rid of a couple of bits and pieces to different people. So it was quite a successful day for me on Sunday in terms of selling and buying. Also, I say Saturday night buying, Sunday selling. But yeah, honestly, I couldn't fault the show. It was incredible, such a good weekend. Great to just see so many familiar people as well, and chat all things cards and random things the whole weekend. So it was an unbelievable weekend, and obviously thank you to everyone that obviously made remarks to the podcast. I know a couple of people that obviously said they've been listening in and that they love the podcast. So it really means a lot. Obviously, when you're just walking around the show and people are sort of taking the time to say how much they enjoy listening to the podcast or they love watching the podcast. So it makes it all that much more worthwhile when people are sort of recognizing that as well. So yeah, thank you to also everyone that stopped and sort of said how much they're enjoying it and enjoy watching it. So yeah, a great weekend. Can't fault it. Can't top it. Roll on to February now.
Yeah, and obviously, love for you. Obviously, it was come Friday. You didn't know if you was going or not. So was it worth in the end, the 2 days for you to obviously get down, obviously meet a lot of people, also talk cards, and then also buy a nice couple of cards and a couple of boxes as well?
Yeah, it was good. I was glad I'd done it. I think it's the show where I've spent the least, but I really did enjoy it. It was probably up there with one of the favourite shows that I've been to. I think it's come come along so much since sort of like the first ones. It just shows the growth in the market and how where it's sort of going.
Yeah, 100% agree. I'm not saying the same that everyone likes to say with the hobby, but like I say, we just want to echo a statement that Harry said. It's very easy for us just to see numbers of people watching and listening along, but when you meet the people in person, it makes it a lot more beneficial and much more worthwhile, and actually know that we want to expand and grow as well. But like we say as well, we would like to thank Harry and the team for having us along at the London Card Show again, and no doubt we've circled it in our diaries already. Metaphorically speaking, most people just put it in their phones now. So we have got the 10th and 11th all booked into our phones. Hopefully we'll be down there again, whether it's a Saturday, Sunday trade night, we'll wait to see. But like we say, thanks for everyone for making it such a great weekend, whether it was in the pub in at the day afterwards talking cards. But like I say, it was a fantastic weekend, and obviously it's one of the last shows of 2023, and obviously we'll talk about it in a few episodes time. We'll have a bit more of a 2023 recap closer to the end of the year, which has been a fantastic year for shows, cards, and everything like that. But lastly, I'd say, Lav, obviously, thank you so much for joining us yet again on the podcast. You'll be getting, I think it's like we were saying GBW the other day, you're getting close to a residential. Might have to arrange like a little testimonial for you soon.
Yeah, I mean, gonna get my match ball soon. Can't wait.
Yeah. We need to stop promising stuff, H. We're getting people on. They're
Well,
expecting.
you think, H, you promised Jack one. Don't try bringing me into this.
You're behind the budget.
Yeah, we have to find the budget.
That's gone on Slab Mags, mate. That's gone already.
But no, like I say, thanks ever so much for everyone listening, watching along. Also, just sharing the content. Like I say, massive thanks as well to Third Down Displays for sponsoring and powering this podcast, and also powering H's obsession with.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Yeah,
but like I
was
say,
coming.
episode 91 has been an absolute pleasure looking back at the show. Obviously, now it's not too far away to the next one. It's a short period than it normally is. But like I say, next week we'll be back for recapping the hobby and everything that's gone on with that, because there's releases, there's news all to be talked about. But most importantly, I hope everyone out there is doing well, staying safe. Make sure you're buying, selling, trading, and all that good jazz. And most importantly, happy hobbying. And good night.